Can ICP go on an insane run and hit some pretty high targets? Well, we're going to be talking about it in this video. Welcome in everyone to the channel. My name is Nick. For those that are new to the channel, hopefully by the end of this video, you do become a subscriber. I do believe that this is actually my first video on ICP. I have been following them for a very long time, but I never really made a video on it, and I don't know why. I just never really did. But now, as I do look at the technology, as I look at, the stats behind it, I think that it's safe to say that this could very well be one of the next big players in the space. We know that back in 2021, when it did launch, it came out at the number 4th spot. It was one of the largest projects out there, but ever since, as you guys can see on this chart, it has been selling off in a large way. Now, it never really had a bull run. Just recently, it did start to break out, hitting almost $20 before, of course, the market did sell off. And I do think that now is probably one of the best times to be looking into ICP, considering the fact that, as you guys do see on my chart right now, it is back into a major demand zone. In fact, it's right around the levels that we were trading at back in May of 2022. Let's be honest, it's very easy to take positions in crypto, but it's extremely hard to actually have a game plan in place when the time comes to take profits. And that's exactly why I released a completely free exit plan that you can apply to literally every single position that you take in crypto. And the best part about it is that it's completely free. All you have to do to get access is go to the link down in the description below and claim your access now. What are you waiting for? Capture those profits. Before, we did sell off a little bit more deeper, obviously, but this is the last area of support that I'm looking at. Before, of course, we do retarget some of these lower levels, like around like $5 to possibly even like $6. But anywhere between $6.74 to where we're at kind of right now is not a bad entry point at all, especially for the upcoming bull run. And we're going to be talking about some targets that, in my opinion, have high probabilities of being hit. So first, let's look at the overall ecosystem. There's well over 264 projects within the ICP ecosystem, and some of these are projects that you probably even know about. The ecosystem has been growing pretty strong, and I personally love to see the DeFi projects really kind of being the biggest ones around, because again, if you actually look at DeFi on a lot of these networks, they become some of the biggest projects. Now, outside of this, one of the fastest growing areas on Internet Computer Protocols ecosystem is this internet identity. Now, for you guys that don't know about this, just recently, ICP, or DFINITY, which is the team behind ICP, put out a full update regarding internet identities. It just surpassed over 2.5 million, and this thing has been growing pretty quick, which I love to see. And again, this puts a spotlight on user participation on the network. Now, outside of this, we also have a pretty substantial update regarding the ecosystem. If we go over here to the actual breakdown of the dashboard, we could see a few things behind the scenes of ICP. For an example, check out how many transactions per second ICP is doing. Almost 5,000, which is significant. Now, outside of that, ETH equivalent transactions, they're doing transactions equivalent to over 300 and almost 50,000 Ethereum. And at the time that I'm recording, you guys can see that they just surpassed over 350,000 Ethereum equivalent transactions, which is crazy to say the least. Now, you can also see the transactions pretty stable for the most part. Canisters or dApps on the actual network is well over 517,000. And these are dApps and also smart contracts. So again, network utilization, network growth, and user participation is growing at an absurd rate on ICP, and the technology behind this is very, very crucial in my opinion for Web3, because remember, as we really look at Web3, cloud-based technology is a big deal. Decentralized cloud-based technology is the key, and that's exactly what ICP is really kind of providing, of course, along with other things as well, but that's like the main thing. Now, also, in terms of ICP, for those that are new about, ICP, maybe like you never really looked into ICP or whatever, this is the overall utility behind ICP. And we can see the token utility participate in governance, burn for cycles, participate in decentralization swaps, and also reward node machine providers. There's also cycles within this, which is stable cost and compute and storage, fuel storage, compute, and bandwidth. And it's kind of broken down in the sense that, you know, ICP itself can be burned to obtain these cycles. And this is basically serving as gas for computation and storage in canister smart contracts, as you guys do see up there. So yes, ICP can essentially be burned. I don't think that the burn rate has so far been substantial just yet, but it is something that you can do with your ICP. Now, outside of that, also some use cases. So here we have unlock endless possibilities with internet computer use cases. We have chain fusion, which is the multi-chain technology. We also have DAOs on ICP, community owned Web3. And then we also have Enterprise Cloud 3.0, extend Web 2 software with blockchain. And remember, this is all through a autonomous cloud. It's fully decentralized. Nobody controls it. This is a very big game changer, especially when we're talking about like AWS and so forth. So this could definitely take over within the Web3 space as we do start to kind of see everything move towards a more decentralized environment. But also we have gaming paradigm shift in Web3 gaming as well. Again, all of this is through like 100% on-chain decentralized nature, which is a very big plus one in my opinion for any project within the space. We want decentralization. We want, you know, full on Web3. We don't want Web 2 mixed with Web 3 where we have, all right, yeah, there's some control here, there's, you know, some decentralization here. Like, no, we want things like this. So I think that this is a great project for that sense. Now, also outside of this, we also have over here, this is the internet identities. So going back to those internet identities, right, where we have over 2.5 million internet identities. What really is this? Well, this is secure, seamless, and privacy-preserving digital identities. This is a decentralized, federated service running end-to-end on the internet computer. And so far, this has been growing rapidly. I think that this is a great way to really kind of introduce identities around Web3 in a very private and secure way. And again, this proves to you that like ICP, like although like, yeah, we have, you know, the decentralized cloud-based technology, there is a lot more behind ICP than what most people are actually looking at. Again, beyond the surface level, there is so much more behind Internet Computer Protocol. Now, also, like I said, going back to the DFINITY team, guys, the DFINITY Foundation is a major contributor to the ICP or the Internet Computer Blockchain. And this is one of the largest teams that I know around this space. When we scroll down, look at the 270 plus team members behind DFINITY. This is crazy. And you can see the full team as well. And you can look at all of them. You can see their background. Like this is fully transparent and you can see who's contributing to the blockchain and beyond, which I think is such a huge thing. Now, talking about that, addressing it, although ICP looks great, right, we have to come to the fact that, yes, since 2021, a lot has changed. We look at the overall price of ICP today, and it's like, all right, it's $8.30 some cents. Just imagine if it goes back to $400, or what if it can go to $830 or even $1,000 or so? Well, is it going to do that? First, let's address the elephant in the room, which is the supply, okay? If we just go back to the historical snapshots and we go all the way back to May of 2021, which is when I believe that ICP really kind of topped out. I think I might have to go to the 16th because it did launch beyond the 9th. But if we actually look at this, right, ICP here at number 9 had about roughly 124 million supply. If we go to ICP today, circulating supply is almost 500 million. So there was a substantial inflation of tokens that have happened since 2021 to where we're at currently. The overall market cap of ICP at that time when it was at $225 was about $28 billion almost. Again, a substantial market cap, but also a very high ICP price. If ICP today went back to its all-time high, because if we scroll down here, we could see the all-time high happened on May 10th. It was $750.73. I'm just going to round it down to $750. If ICP were to hit that price today, okay, and I have this broken down over here, you're looking at almost $350 billion in market cap for ICP. Again, the market cap even back in 2021 with the supply was almost $93 billion, which is why I said like when it came out, it was like number 4 on the list for all tokens in the top 100. So it came out within the top 5 already, which was crazy. So since then, yes, ICP had a massive sell-off, and this is what it looks like right now. But does this mean that ICP is dead in the water for any upward, movement? Absolutely not. In fact, I think that this thing could easily 10x from today's prices. But I'm going to give you guys my conservative, remember, keyword there is conservative prediction for ICP. Again, going off of the supply, this is what I personally believe when it comes to ICP. So let's talk about market caps versus some of the top 10. So Ethereum, if we had Ethereum as market cap today, it would be 100 and almost, 12x, $923. BNB at 91 billion, $195, 23.5x. Solana, 62.3 billion, $133.80, 16x. XRP, $27.18 billion, $58, 7x. Again, going down the list here, you can see, 40, 38, 29, 23 almost, and also 22. Like I said, ICP already went on a pretty substantial run already to almost $20. I do think that it will do that again, and I also think that it will break over $20 and go even higher. But what is an accurate price prediction for ICP? Also take into accountability that the total supply staked on the network is about 46.7% of the total supply, and there is some that are locking their tokens for about roughly 8 years. Just recently, DFINITY announced that 8.3 million ICP is actually locked up into the 8-year time frame. But you could also see that down here in terms of like who's actually locking it up for 8 years. You can see who's locking it up for 7 to 8, 6 to 7, 5 to 6, 4 to 5, 3 to 4, and so forth. Again, a substantial amount here is mainly around like we have some that is locked up for 8 years. Almost 138 point, like almost 3 million is locked up for 8 years. Most of the short-term ones are roughly between 6 months to about 2 years, where we have over 60 some million that's locked up. After that, you have the 2 to 3 years and so forth. But still, the one thing to look at here is there is a very substantial amount of ICP locked up in staking. In fact, we actually see ICP value locked for 8 years is roughly about $1.133 billion, which is, again, substantial. But again, does this still, cause price action to be stifled a bit? 100%. Even though it is staked, even though it's locked away, it still stifles price action. But it does help move the price easier. As we really look at my conservative price prediction for ICP, I would say the best case possible for ICP is it hits some of these higher prices, meaning I think that it can hit $134 to almost $200 in price. Now, could it go substantially higher? Could it go to $100 billion, even $200 billion market cap? 100%. Listen, with the technology, with the adoption, with the growth, with the ecosystem behind ICP, could definitely hit those higher prices. But my conservative price prediction for ICP this cycle is $60 to $70. And I know what you guys are probably saying, like, oh, that's way too low, that's ridiculous, blah, blah, blah. I get that. But remember, this is a conservative price prediction. In my opinion, yes, I do believe that it could go, much higher, but we're talking about conservative price predictions here. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because of more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.